Hello everyone, and welcome to part 2 of painting the Operation Artemis box set. I went ahead and I primed all the mechs in first black, and then I oversprayed white, and I put them onto bases so I can hold them comfortably in my miniature holder. And I'm going to use a lot of those TTcombat paints I already used for the fauna, but I am adding washes and another white paint. I'm going to use an off-white paint, and I'm going to use the white paint later on for highlights. And yeah, just to expand a little bit into other colors I have. And I'm probably going to use a very bright silver to highlight the metallics later on. But now, first thing to do is paint some metallics. So I am going to use gunmetal from TTcombat. And I'm going to go and paint this all around all the parts I want metallic. So that will be, I will paint, I put those to the side so the camera won't fix on them. And I'm going to paint those miniguns up to this armor plate here. I'm going to paint all those mechanical bits. So everything here, here, and all of this back part. That's the minimum. So also in here. Let's see how this color works. So it covers very well on the white, which is rather rare for metallic paints in general, if they are not some very high pigmented ones. So I assume this one is highly pigmented. Covers very well. I'm going to paint those little things here and this back of the foot as well. They're going to be metal. Also, I'm going to paint the magnet in here and everything that is near it, just so it looks mechanical. And I think I'm painting this part here as well, in here. So I only have armor plates in non-metallic. Or things that look like armor plates. Everything mechanical will look metallic. Yeah, like this. There are some greeblies on this nose. I'm going to paint them as well. Like this. I'm going to go around the models. Notice that I do not have the weapons on them for painting. They are magnetized. I will paint them separately. And after that metallic, I will be back. Okay, so I'm done with the metallics. And I do like the look of those of this metallic. I did all the mechs, and also I did all the weapons. Next up, I'm going to wash the whole model with a wash, in this case a nylon oil. You could also just thin the black, but I want to look how far I can take those with only adding 3 more paints. And yeah, I'm going to wash everything now. As you can see on the models, the white is not very clean right now, and that's fine. I'm going to repaint most of it anyway, and now I'm just gonna go around the model. There's something in my brush, not cleaned properly, I guess. Now it works. So I'm going to go around and wash the whole model. And I really enjoy the TTcombat metallic that is in the starter set. I'm going to buy more different metallics and try them out. But this metallic, first of all, it looks very good. Second of all, it covered in one coat on the white, which I like a lot. So I'm going to paint. I'm going to buy more of them and paint with them more, because I think those metallics are pretty good. Actually, one of the best metallics I've seen in a while. And I'm looking forward to how it looks when the wash is dry. I'll keep an eye on pooling. So, like in here, there's some pooling happening. I don't want that. I just want a good amount of wash in all the nooks and crannies of the miniature. Yeah, just like this. And I'm going to go around, paint all the miniatures with the wash and let it dry, and after that I will be back and continue with the next step, which will be a dry brush of a bright silver. And after that I will clean up the white, edge highlight it a little bit with pure white, and then just do some markings. And then those miniatures are basically done. They are pretty simple to paint and look striking even with a simple paint job. So I'm gonna go around and do this now, and I'll be back. Okay, so I'm back and they're all washed. Also, I forgot to paint the metallic ends of those. I did that, and I need to wash the weapons again, at least the rear part. Now I'm going with a very light metallic, and I'm going to dry brush on the metallic quickly. I'm using a makeup brush. Looks like right amount for me. Yep. And I just go around the model and dry brush it. Make the metal shiny. Yeah. So I will go and do this all around the models. And the weapons, and after that I will be back and we paint the whites. Be right back. Okay, so I'm done now with the metallics and they look quite striking, I think. And now I will repaint all the panels with Offen Gray. That's one color of the three I added to my color choices. And I will thin this a lot, like a lot. So I will add a whole lot of water to my wet palette. And then I will use the same painting technique I used with my UCM ships when I paint the orange. And I will just basically flood the model with the white. Very thin. And I will use the water that is in there now to my advantage, so it stays on the plate where I want it. Paint is very thin. And it will then look like this. And as soon as it dries, it will be incredibly smooth. And as long as it dries, I will put it onto the model, let it dry, and then I will go around all the models and paint the white in this way. And the water tension will keep it on the miniature foamy. Just avoid everything that is detail. Like this. This will take some time, but it's a technique where you can paint whites in one coat, which is hard normally, to say the least, but it's used for terracotta painting. And as you can see, it's very smooth, and as soon as it dries, which will take some time because it's very wet, the paint will have one coherent coat of white on the model. I will do this for all the miniatures now, and then I will be back. Okay, so I'm back after doing the white, and this is how it looks after that. I thought I'm going to show something. So if you want to do this terracotta painting technique, your brush is loaded full of paint, and then you just drag it above the surface of the miniature, basically not touching it at all, just touching it with paint and depositing it all over the mini. If you do it right, it will just look like this. It needs some practice, but if you are practicing this a little bit, the miniatures will look very good and very crisp. Now I take some white from TTcombat, and then I will just edge highlight the mechs a bit, going around all those sharp edges, just to make it a bit brighter. It's the only way to highlight white. You start with an off-white and you edge highlight with white, pure white, and then you will get the illusion of white with a reflection of light. And I will just go around those holes as well. Follow the line. Like this, and I will do this now all around the white on all of the models, and after that they are basically done after this step, but I will add some blue stripes just to give them a little bit more to look at, and also I will paint those missile heads red. Yeah. So I will do this, and then I will be back after that. So I'm done now with all the white highlights. Looks like this now. You could leave this perfectly as is, but I'm going to paint some extra details, namely the missile heads are going to be red. So I took some Sarah red and Spotlight yellow on my palette, because I want to highlight it as well, and you don't mix acrylic red with white, because if you do that, it will become pink, and I want a lighter orangey color to highlight this. So I'm going to paint the missile heads. With this red. Like this. Number 1. And number 2. And now I just take a little bit of the yellow and mix it on my palette into the red, and then I will just paint top half of the missile with this, like that. Do it again. Top half of the missile. Just like that. Then I want a little bit more of the yellow into my orange, and I will just paint the top, and then I will have some nice looking missiles. So you could paint more detailed stuff, but I think I'm fine with this. So next and last step I want to do is I want to break off this white, because it's very white and it looks good, but I'm going to take some EAA blue, very light, nice looking blue, and I'm going to paint some stripes onto those parts here. So I'm aiming at an angle, and probably I'm going to go from here to here, like this. Make it a little bit wider and fill it in. If you can't paint straight lines like this, it takes practice, but there is a trick you can do. So after you've done this and it's dry, if your line isn't perfect, just take the color you painted the underlying part and you just dot the edge so it looks like it's weathered, and if you do that it will look convincing and weathered as well. So I'm going to do this on the inside as well, so I have it looking like this. Going to do same thing on the other side, so I painted it from here to here and then widened it from this corner up here. Like this. And like this. Oops. Touched the paint. So like this. So they have a stripe here, and I quite like this. Just the thing I wanted to do for this paint job. This is going to get highlighted next. Do I want to add more blue? Yes, I want a second stripe. So I'm going to go here to here, just like this. Paint a second stripe. Again, offside. Just like this. Same on the other side. Take some distance, widen it, and go in here, paint it. So, as you can see, this line is not very straight. So I'm going to pick my underlying color. In this case it was thin gray. And I will just fix my lines. But as said, you could just feather it out and do dots like this, touch it, and have a weathered look, but I'm going for a clean one, so I'm going to do this. Just some minor cleanup. Okay, and now I'm going to highlight this as well. So I just pick white, put it next to my blue, and I mix it a bit so I get a very light blue. We'll pick a finer brush now. Where's my finer brush? There it is. And I will edge highlight here, here, and this top line here, top line here. Here and here. And then I think I'm happy with this. Oh, dark blue here. White is too strong underneath. Just like this. And now I have a finished model. You can add more stripes if you want, but I think I'm happy with this. I can see here that I spilled a little bit of blue. I'll clean up my line. And now I will just take this miniature of the base for painting and then glue it onto the base. It should go on and the miniature is done. I will do the stripes for those now, and that's it then. So thanks for watching and have a nice day. Bye.